Psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, making melody in our heart to the Lord. Any questions for me or any comments before we go any further about why we sing hymns and where did they originate? None whatsoever. Okay, general questions. Carvey. Where? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jeremiah. 5:19. Help him out, Carvey, beside you, please.
Oh, yeah,
He's there. I want you to know that.
I'm trying to see. His numbers are small.
Yo, Doc, I can read a little no more. Yeah. And also, don't forget this. On the night in which Jesus was betrayed, he sung a hymn and went out. And that's in Matthew. So part of our communion and feet washing services, which we are, always looking at making sure that we teach and preach those principles. It requires us to do a lot of singing. They can be congregational hymns based upon who's in the congregation to sing those songs. It takes a lot. So, any questions for me?
Carver, have you've been in some services where we sung hymns?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are you're not a singer though, are you, Carver?
I try not to be.
You try not to be. You try not to. Say you try your best not to, huh? But it's something you have to practice. Think about. You don't have to sound melodious. It's just practicing and getting used to the cadence and how you can follow along, because it's very important and paramount that you do sing while we sing it.
Yes, sir.
Because the word of God declares that.
Yes, sir. I've noticed that some churches have a different cadence.
Yeah.
So it's
you stay out the way.
Okay, how are they going to do it? I'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Now, he came out of West Harper.
Yes, sir.
Were they still singing hymns there?
Sometimes.
Sawyers
really doesn't. He doesn't really
Stress.
like them that much. But I won't say he doesn't like them. He doesn't like to hear them because he said that's what we did as slaves, but we're no longer slaves, so we don't do it. He didn't do it as much.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think
that's
what his belief.
Yeah, he said that before the congregation, or just in classes or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure about in classes, but he did.
Verbally,
he did have the deacons. Let's do more congregational songs rather than.
And that's strange because Pastor Hill and I just had that conversation a couple of days ago.
We sure did.
We just had that conversation.
We sure did.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, when I say hymns biblically, it don't mean the long meter.
Right.
But it's just a way of communication. That's why, and the Bible stresses that. And remember, the night in which he was betrayed, he sung a hymn and went out. That's why we do it. Regardless if it's long meter, short meter, indifferent. And depending on where you are, you hear them differently.
Yes, sir.
Big Harper sings them a little totally different than us. Where I come from, we stressed every word of Carvey. So, Father, and then we would do, a sound straight. So that's how I heard them growing up.
Yes, sir.
Elder Richard Lloyd, he didn't sing them. He didn't always do all syllables. Great hymn singer, but that's what he did. You find certain ways to do it, and you find your rhythm and cadence, and you just teach. But it's a good method.
Yes, sir.
And I believe it is, and I want you to know scripturally where the foundation of that is for us. Man.
Yeah, Carver, I was raised up on hymns, but now, especially within our congregation, it's kind of hard to put one down because we're not taking in, and we don't want to take nobody from a church, no way.
Right.
But we're getting more churches from other denominations. Mm-hmm. Now, I like hymns, but my voice is not as strong. But my preference with me doing devotion is to sing a hymn.
Yes, sir.
I love them. And we don't sing them out to our association like we used to. And that hurts me so bad, but signs of the time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And they're not being taught, as Pastor Hill starts off within this orientation, discussing hymns and how they're sung with y'all. But when you get out front, it's a different story. The young people, they're not too interested in hymns.
No.
Because some of them ain't never heard them.
That's
To
true.
be honest.
That's true too.
Right.
But they're not. If you now, I think still call him Buster. He was about the only one that can really pull a hymn. But Buster's been started as a child here. My son used to could sing him, but after that, that's about it for a young man singing a hymn down here. That would be something he probably could introduce in his rehearsal.
Him singing.
Yes.
So you have a biblical foundation of that, and now we want to move to our 7 principles. Why is the number 7 important in your discipline, Deacon Wade? What page is that on?
It's on page 25.
25.
I just happen to be right there. Page 25. Use this Mother temporary.
Yeah,
You want
use it,
to?
Mom. Mother.
Right.
And this is Mother Buchanan.
Page
I'll say good
25.
morning to Mother Buchanan.
Good morning, Mother.
Yeah, that's Mother Buchanan. She's our youngest mother. The youngest one.
Yeah,
She's
I am.
She's 19. No, you 39.
39.
You 39.
I'm 39.
She's
I'll be-
93 years
I
old.
live July this year. I'll be
94. 49. Huh?
49 years old.
Wow. So when I say the number 7, and like I said, I'm going to have to
What
just
page did you say that?
25.
25.
25.
When I mentioned the number 7, and Deacon Wade and I was in our teachers meeting yesterday, and I told him 7, 16, and 3. What's significant about those numbers? Like I said, you can always pick with Miss Sade, say 7, 16, and 3, because hearing it, she hadn't heard it like this before. So where do I get the number 7 from? The 7 principles in our covenant. And a covenant is necessary, and there's so many biblical covenants. So why do we use the term covenant? The word covenant is used in a variety of ways. So the Primitive Baptist has a covenant. Now, Carvey, when I was young, our pastor used to make us say that in church. Like after the devotion was over, we would say the covenant. And then guess what? All the youth had to come up and say it. So that's why I could remember it for so long, Mother Buchanan, because we actually said it in church. For as much Almighty God by His grace, hey, we had to say it, and it's good, and it has a foundation in biblical truth. So, what are our 7 principles? Principle number 1, Carver, would you like to read that?
To be governing, excuse me, to
There
be
you go.
governed and guided by a proper discipline agreeable to the word of God.
There it is. Govern and guided. 2 words that you want to make sure that you have the ability to understand and unpack as you grow and go along your Christian journey. Govern is one thing, guided is something else. They are similar, but even when you look them up and do a general definition of the terms, govern means something and guided means something. So let's just pause. Everybody, let's pull out your phone. You got your phone, Carter. Look up the word govern. What does it mean to be governed? And we'll look at that. Mother, your birthday's in July.
Yes,
20 what?
the 9th.
Oh, okay. I'm all over. 20, I'm messed up. All right.
I was born the 7th month, 9th day. So I was born on that good
7-9, huh?
right.
All right. So what does it mean to be governed? Let's look at the term govern. When I say I'm governed by something, and I thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Mother. So pause. Let me ask this question. How many mothers do we have in this church?
6.
There you go. There you go. What's the definition for govern?
Mine says to conduct the policies, actions, and affairs.
Yeah. To be governed is to conduct policies. I'm gonna give mine digitally today.
I am too. So
Digitally? Okay.
Digitally.
Gotcha.
Digitally.
Y'all have a fabulous Sunday.
Fabulous Sunday to you. Thank you. So when you talk about govern, you talk about the policies, right? Policy. No, what are the policies of Ephesians? See, that's what we in this class to learn. Or what is the policies of West Harper? That has to be taught too. Just as much as I teach you Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And then we got new policies because we have bylaws along with the discipline, which that has to be taught somewhere. So what are the policies? policy is this. What are the policies for visiting the sick? What are the policies for tithes and offering? What are the policies for giving? What are the policies for excluding a member? You have so many policies now. What does the Bible say? What does the discipline say? What are the policies? You want to know the policies. Because, Carp, you might say, I like to shout, but I don't like the structure. I'm going to go to another church. You know? And people got to realize that. You can like all the hoopla, and it's good stuff. And I try to make sure that it's great stuff. But what are the policies in place? What are the policies for voting members? See, these are the questions that I even have to ask leadership. What are the policies? And are we communicating the policy? Like for Mother Buchanan and Mother Turner, Mother Darstein. What are the policies for a mother? What age is inappropriate? What are the policies?
That's a good question. What age is inappropriate to be a mother?
I ain't never thought about it until I just said it. Yeah, I ain't never thought about it. I just been talking.
But you know, we kind of funny now about certain things. I was just wondering.
Yeah, we got to sit down and talk. What are the policies? Do we want a mother that's 35?
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, but that's a great. But in our next mothers meeting and deacons meeting, and when we go before the church, okay, these are some of the policies we have in place.
That's something
to think about. And then I'm still confused, Harvey, on this one. And I'm gonna be honest, Mother Buchanan. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between a deaconess and a mother.
That
I haven't been able to
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, what's the
Only
difference?
thing I can see is the name, mother and deaconess.
Yeah.
That's all I can see. I don't know.
And I'm trying to figure that out. Hey, I'm the leader. I'm the vice moderator now. And I go to churches, we have a deaconess. Okay, and then we have mothers. What's the difference? Like, what is the actual difference? And go ahead, Mother. Go ahead. You about to say something?
Well, the only thing I can see that's different from our deaconesses and us is that they only serve when somebody is shouting or sick.
Okay, yeah.
And then the mothers, we supposed to set the pulpit up for our pastor and see that he's got everything that he needs. If he need a towel or whatever. But here lately, since the pandemic, it's not being done, and I'm just wondering why.
What is that, my time? I mean, my time.
Like we used to, put the water and stuff up in the pulpit for the
Right.
pastor, and be sure that the pulpit, everything underneath was in order, straightened out.
And
not all.
that did, I think Mother Buchanan, it stopped before the pandemic. Because you may need to get with your president. Shirley had started getting older, and she used to do it on a regular basis. But that is what the mothers are supposed to do.
I did it,
Yeah.
until then they moved the pulpit out of there, so we had nothing to set up.
Yeah,
So
and the dress.
That's when it started
Changing.
changing. Yeah.
I agree. I was sitting here reading on 51.
In the discipline?
Yeah, the
What
duties of a deaconess.
Okay. I ain't
And-
got one, but what does it say? Well, let's let everybody get
Yeah.
to page 51.
I it doesn't say too much. To assist the mothers
Yeah.
in taking care of the members and dealing with important matters that may arise among the church. To encourage by their conduct and example the Spirit of Christ among the members. It kind of sounds like what the deacons is supposed to be doing instead of the mothers. Okay, to visit the sick and to go among the members and labor in peaceful and loving way one to another. To me, the pastor correct me, that is the task really that the deacon board is supposed to be doing. To me, and the mothers are supposed to be like a husband and a wife, helpmate. Yeah.
Well, so what does it say? Deacon, the policy for deacons are in the book.
Huh?
What does it say for the deacons in the book? And what
To assist the pastor in maintaining unity among the flock.
Yeah.
to see that the pastor's physical needs are met in order that he may give full time to the gospel ministry. To report the welfare of the members to the pastor and deacon board. To serve tables, namely, assist the pastor in serving the Lord's table, assist the pastor in receiving tithes and offering, assist the pastor in receiving the benevolent offering. And that's the thing, let me be quiet. To conduct the deacon's visit, the deaconess and or mother shall aid the pastor in visiting. Okay, we just stated that. Mm-hmm. The membership of the church in sections, we've talked about that in our meeting. Let each deacon and deaconess report the doings of the member in his section or ward. The deacon, deaconess, and mother should wait for the members to find them, but they are to seek the members, inquire them why they do not attend church, and do not give anything for the support of the pastor and the church. Okay? They should visit the pastor to inquire of his welfare and to see that he nor his family suffers. They should consult him about the welfare of the church. We are to attend our deacons meeting to assist the pastor in whatever area deemed necessary. Now I'm going to say in comment to all this what I just read and dealing with a 44-year-old pastor, Carly.
47.
Oh, you can gain some years. Okay, 47. My experience as being a deacon, dealing with Pastor Hill, because there's an age difference. I'm 71, he's 47.
Huh?
I was able to deal with Pastor Fitzgerald differently because of his age. Now, I wasn't close to 88, but I was a little closer than I am to his age. And pastor's needs are different because he's a younger pastor. So he kind of politely let me know that I don't require as much attention, which I can get have a little controlling thing going on because I do care for my pastor. But if he's not willing to receive, I have the offer. I just want to be there when he gets ready.
Yes, sir.
But all this stuff that we just read is what deacons we are supposed to be doing all that.
And mothers.
And mothers.
Like I said, sometimes I think Mother Buchanan, where I get confused is some churches use the word interchangeably. A deacon is a mother and a mother is a deaconess. And then some churches you have a deaconess board and a mother board. And they do the same thing.
Yeah.
They do the same thing to me.
Me too. They just got different
Name, right.
heads.
Yeah. Now, what I've never seen though, Carvey, and because you're primitive, and Jeremiah, you're learning on primitive Baptist, I've never seen a deaconess capped. We cap mothers. I've never been to a service or even been invited to a service where we're going to say we're capping deaconess. Maybe Deacon Wade Hayes. I have.
I haven't because because I
No,
don't think they use deaconess in the primitive Baptist, do they?
few of our churches do.
They
I
do.
don't remember them coming up at West.
I know missionary
Right.
Baptist.
Yeah, but I've never seen a deaconess capped.
Me either.
That's why I said, what is the difference? What are the policies? You said to be governed and guided by the word of God. And I believe leadership should be respected and recognized and rewarded. I believe that.
I do too.
And I'm just going to have to, like Mother Teresa said, Pastor, you're just going to have to teach this on Sunday morning. And the Lord is just showing me more and more the stuff that we learn in here. And Deacon Wade, alludes to it. What we know, people don't know. And walking out, they don't know this. They don't. And here's why they don't know it, because they don't have the relationships that we had in church growing up.
That's true.
They don't have it.
They don't, not no way near what we had.
No,
we
they
had
don't.
to sit on that front. There wasn't no sitting in where you choose, and there wasn't no getting up, walking out. Look, you go to the bathroom now, and when church and the preacher get up, don't you start walking.
Don't
But
you move.
I've noticed in my congregation, they'll sit there until you get up, and then they start. I says, what is wrong with them?
It's yeah.
But That's just the way they are. They haven't been taught that, so
Right.
they don't know that. But when we were growing up, I went to BTU at 6 o'clock in the afternoons. My dad was the teacher. And I went to Sunday school in the mornings with my mom. And I got my siblings ready and took them to church because my mom worked on Sundays.
Yeah, the word.
We were at church. Better be at church when she got off work and come to church. So that was just the way it was. It's not like that now.
Hey, bro, you need me? Okay.
Isn't that Jordan?
Yeah. Pull your hood off your head. Pull your hood off your head. You're in the building. People don't know
Hey,
who you
Joe.
are. How you doing? All right, we'll see you. Going to class? Thank you. Yeah. But they don't know. Like,
The thing here, because you can only talk about where you belong, like you just illustrated, is that they don't want to come to classes and learn. I can only say my experience with the younger brothers in the church. You can invite them all day long. You can try to do little things for them. And I don't know it's because of the responsibility and having to commit. I don't think the younger brothers are ready to commit to the church other than singing. They'll commit to that. But,
I'm sorry.
Go on.
That's the only thing they know now. I think that's why they get up when it's time for preaching. They get up and start doing their own thing because the music is over. Music is all
Right.
they know now.
Right.
Nobody speaks anymore. That's why I hate these quote unquote musical movies or whatever. Don't sing to me what you're trying to say. Speak.
Living.
So
I agree. And that's what I'm saying. After they do that, they feel like they've had church.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, they feel like they done had church. And back in the day, the choir wasn't too much different, but we participated more in the services. And it is because of the way we were brought up.
Yeah,
You're
I
correct.
loved when I was in the choir. I sung in the
Yeah,
choir.
I love
until
that number 2 choir when I was
where I
in it.
couldn't go up and
But I
down the
did more
steps.
than
My back got bad.
you could.
So I came out of the choir and sit in the audience. And then Al Fitzgerald and Sarah Warren started bugging me about getting on the motherboard. I said, no, I'm not ready for that. And I called my mom. And, I talked to her about what was going on. She said, well, just pray about it. Said, if it's for you, said, God will let you know. So that's what I did. And then one Sunday I was coming into church and Mother Wright was in the vestibule out there. And it just popped in my mind and I went to her and I said, well, I'm ready to try the mother's board and see how it. And that's what I did and I've been there since. I don't do anything now but just sit there because
That's all I'm doing.
but I witness. I know the Bible. I don't read as much as I used to because I can't. I just have one good eye, and I gotta try to keep it. And when I read and when it start running together, then I put it down. But I can remember. I can memorize stuff that I read. When I was doing a lot of reading, and we had Bible classes in our building. And when he's preaching, I know what he's saying. And I witness to it. And anybody else is preaching. If they're not preaching the Bible, no, that ain't right.
Help him, Lord.
Yeah.
That's so,
Yep.
help him, Lord.
And this has been on my mind for months about the young man that came and joined and said he had never been in church. And now he don't come back. And I just been praying to God and asking God to help him. And hopefully one day he'll come back. But I'm concerned about my members and people that it's not my members. I'm just concerned about everybody. That's just the way I was brought up.
That's right.
And in my building, if I don't see some of my neighbors in 2 or 3 days, I'm going to go ask somebody
Where
if they're
you
okay or something. And that's the way I am with my church members. They some members. I call my church members like I don't go and visit like I used to. I used to go visit them with Deacon Boyd and Irvin, but now I pick up my phone once in a while and I call them. I call Daisy and Laura Mae, and I don't call Cecil them because he's got a wife, and I don't want to cause no conflict between him and his wife, because sometimes women get upset when women call.
Now,
so I know that.
With Brother Williams, which the last time that's his last name. The last time Brother Williams was here, he gave me his telephone number. Okay, but he's crossed my mind several times, but I'm leery about calling him because situations with him wasn't the way they was presented, and I don't want to step off into something that I don't know whether it's true or false. So I don't know.
They always treated me nice. That whole Boyd family when I joined this church, and you all, they latched on to me just like I was their
I'm
family.
talking about the man that you were talking about. I'm talking about the brother who's trying hadn't been here. Okay.
But I don't know.
And that's something we used to do, and we're getting back to it slowly but surely. We just have a lot of new members. Romans 16, and we'll stop right here. Romans 16. I want to show you. We talked about policies, and now moving from policy so much to personality. And I thank y'all. Thank you, Mother Buchanan, for being here this morning. Biblically, there is, and remember King James. I'm King James Carvey. And it's going to be hard to get me to go somewhere different direction. I know Junior and them going to push me to do something different, and I know it. But I've been listening to King James all my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning other translations, and I try to read them, but man, I do a new King James, American Standard, and an ESV now. I don't even do the NIV that much anymore. I just can't. It just ain't, to me, it ain't saved enough. Can I say that? I don't feel God. I need the thee, the thus, and the thou.
I like that King James, the one you talked about.
Okay.
I have that Bible, and I read it and this one. But it explains more than this one does. When I read it, you get a better understanding. So I read them both. And what I don't understand here, I read over there, and I say, oh, yeah. And then when you preaching sometimes, I done read something, I said, I don't know what that means. But I said, Lord, I know you give it to me. And you preach it sometimes. I said, oh, that's what that means. So it's good. And Sunday school, I love Sunday school. That's where you start.
That's right.
Sunday school.
Where you get your learning.
Yeah, and then preaching and everything else.
Yeah. So Romans 16 verse 1, and I know different translations will read different ways. And we have to talk about this at another time, but it talks about it shows us where women have been influential in the church as it relates to leaders, and it actually used the word servant. Some Bibles says deaconess, but in the King James, Romans 16:1 says servant. I ain't got time to get into a etymological study and morphology, carve it. It ain't that deep. But
yeah, who's arguing semantics?
I ain't got time. Not today. And not at 11 o'clock. I just don't. I just got to deal with something else. But it says here, I commend you, Phoebe, our sister, who's a servant, which it says servant, deacon, servant, interchangeable in the church of God, in Centria. So that's what she had, a business. The church respected her. They recognized her in leadership. We want to recognize leadership. And I think in April, that's all I'm going to preach. I think I'm going to have to, because the Lord is just nudging me. But I just want you to see that, you and Jeremiah to see that. We got deaconess, we got mothers. To me, I think they're interchangeable. Some churches they are, some they're not. But I still don't know the difference between one and the other. I know one is capped. The mother is actually capped. We have a service.
And the other one's not.
I ain't never seen them.
No.
I ain't never seen it.
Never.
And then I don't even in the Missionary Baptist Church, Deacon Wade, I don't like, we have Mothers Union. I don't know. I ain't never heard of a Deaconess Union. I just ain't. You know what I'm saying? We got structure to say we respect our mothers. These other churches, sometimes I think this deaconess thing, from my perspective, They don't they don't want to wear white. You hear me? Because sometimes they're not in uniform. You hear me? And they just kind of want to do their own thing, more so than anything. But until y'all show me and give me a great understanding, a mother's a mother. This is what mothers do. This is a role. Their roles. They have a role. We're guided by that. That's the policy of Ephesians. So that we have now 6 mothers. Will we put more mothers on the board? Of course we can. But that's a process. Just cause a woman dressed nice don't make her mother. You can smile and be mean as a rattlesnake on the inside. I mean, it takes something to be leaders. Yeah.
Kindness and
Love.
understanding. That's
Loving.
You still running numbers and bootlegging, and you on the motherboard. You hear me? And some point, you gotta cut some things out because of character. So I just want you to understand that when you say governed and guided, that's something that we're governed and guided by, and I wanted you to see that today in this class, that the discipline holds truths that are absolute and universal, and I want you leaving here knowing it. At least Pastor Hill, Deacon Wade, Mother Turner, Mother Buchanan has been trying to teach people who's coming in this church. Because it's a different church. Same address, just a whole lot of different people. Like Mother said, the young man he's from Murfreesboro too, Mother. So, and they had some car problems.
Yeah.
So, living in Murfreesboro, we really need to send him to a church in Murfreesboro.
I didn't know if he lived around here.
No, he lives in Murfreesboro. So he lives in Murfreesboro. So, we need to get him
I
connected to
pray
a
for
church.
him. I'm gonna
Keep
God
praying
God
for him.
is the one that
That's a distance.
straighten it all
Yeah,
out.
that's a distance.
Not us. We
Yeah.
just got to give it to him
That's right.
and leave it there.
That's
I tell
it.
my children all the time, my son lives in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, Lord.
And he's got 2 sons.
He can't
I've got
walk.
2 and they are bookers.
There's a booger, sir.
And grown men, I tell you, but I keep praying for them.
Let's keep praying.
And I told my son, I said, well, all you can do is turn them over to God.
That's it.
I said, he'll bring them out, preachers and deacons. You don't ever know what his plans
Yeah,
are.
he'll bring them.
But
Pastor,
they're better.
it's dwelling on the mother's role in the church.